15 prohibitions and bizarre things only existing in Kazakhstan. A land where every time you close your eyes you sleep for up to 6 consecutive days. A place so insane that a simple handshake with a woman could cost you your life. It sounds truly unbelievable, but on this planet, there exists a country like that. And here is a video about 15 prohibitions and bizarre things that only exist in the country of Kazakhstan. Stay with me for the next few minutes. I will show you that the crazy things I just mentioned are entirely true. Number 15. Sleep Valley. Up until now, I still can't believe there is a place like this in the world, the village of Kazakhstan in Kazakhstan, where people experience prolonged sleep for up to 6 days. For the past 4 years, 1/4 of the population in the village of Kazakhstan, located more than 400 kilometers from the Russian border, has been falling into a strange sleep resembling a deep coma, with no warning symptoms. Since then, the area has been referred to as the Sleep Valley. Local women report that after waking up from this peculiar deep sleep lasting from 12 hours to 6 days, their husbands suddenly demand intimacy right then and there, and this sudden craving lasts for at least a month. Moreover, they use extremely vulgar language. Many even plead with doctors to let them walk and only want to wear hospital diapers. Children experience hallucinations and claim to see monsters or large eyes on their mothers' foreheads. Some medical reports claim that the health of those affected by the sleep disorder is not adversely impacted upon waking up. However, this is completely untrue. Currently, in the village with only 381 remaining residents, they face frightening conditions such as severe headaches, memory loss, and cancer. A few hundred meters away from the village of Kazakhstan lies the small town of Krasnogorsk, where uranium ore was once produced for the Soviet Union's nuclear weapons program. It is believed that the leakage of radioactive radon gas from the former uranium mines in Krasnogorsk is the cause of the mysterious sleep disorder, but this is still uncertain. If you dare, visit Kazakhstan to experience this exceptionally long sleep phenomenon. Number 14. Radiation pollution. It may sound quite unbelievable, but the beautiful grasslands of Kazakhstan are indeed heavily contaminated with radiation, and its origin can be traced back to the actions of the Russians. Recently unearthed classified reports from the Cold War era have shed light on the devastating consequences of nuclear testing by the Soviet Union. In the 1950s, a nuclear explosion in Kazakhstan led to over 600 hospitalizations and more than 100,000 people affected. In August 1956, the aftermath of a Soviet nuclear weapons test in Semipalatinsk, Kazakhstan, submerged the industrial city of Kamenogorsk within a 175-kilometer radius. Semipalatinsk, now known as Semi, was a primary site for Soviet nuclear weapons testing. Scientists discovered radiation contamination and widespread radiation sickness across the northern Kazakh steppes bordering Russia. Explorers later traced the fallout from undisclosed nuclear tests, committing a terrible crime where many unknowingly consumed radioactive vegetables, fruits, and meats for years. This may explain why the wealthy in Kazakhstan often prefer imported food. Number 13. Handshaking with women is prohibited. If you want to avoid being attacked or even losing your life due to a handshake in Kazakhstan, pay close attention to what I am about to say. In Kazakhstan, men are only allowed to shake hands with other men. Even if you are not formally introduced to everyone, a simple handshake can replace an official introduction. Traditional handshakes are considered a question about health, work, etc. However, handshakes are only accepted between 2 men. For women, if you intentionally extend your hand to touch theirs, it will be viewed as inappropriate, with the intention of assaulting the girls. Immediately, those around you will attack you regardless of your attempts to explain. It's important to note that this is a predominantly Muslim country, and in such cases, people often resort to extreme actions. Number 12. Eagle hunting. Setting aside the issues of radiation, let's explore something truly fascinating in the Kazakh steppe: eagle hunting. Kazakhstan is renowned as the homeland of eagles, and the tradition of hunting with eagles has been prevalent in the vast plains for a long time. Mongolian people have been using eagles to hunt on the expansive steppes since ancient times. The tradition of hunting with eagles has been passed down from generation to generation, and the training of eagles for hunting has deeply ingrained itself in the hearts of many Kazakhs. The three main participants in this activity are the hunter, the loyal eagle, and prey such as rabbits, foxes, and wolves. People in the Altai mountain range believe that eagles can drive away negative thoughts from the human soul. This is also the only tribe in the world that uses golden eagles for hunting. Eagle hunting is a traditional profession of the Kazakh tribe. They have been using eagles as hunting companions since the 15th century. The tradition of hunting with eagles among the Kazakhs has been passed down through many generations, contributing to providing food and fur to withstand harsh winters. Healthy horses and fierce eagles were once considered indispensable allies of warriors. Number 11. Forbidden to take photos while sleeping. If you come across homeless people or anyone sleeping in Kazakhstan, absolutely refrain from taking photos of them. This taboo stems from the belief that photographing someone with closed eyes resembles capturing a dead person, and it may bring bad luck, illness, or misfortune. Furthermore, places like ancient houses, historical landmarks, or places with a long history are likely to have undergone historical events, and these places themselves carry a sense of gloom and negative energy. Therefore, it is advised to limit taking photos in ancient houses, places with a long history, or historical landmarks. If these places are preserved historical sites with regulations against photography, it is crucial to comply with the site's rules. Number 10. Bride kidnapping. This is something that female visitors should be extremely cautious about when in Kazakhstan, as being noticed might lead to an attack or even abduction. Men in Kazakhstan don't abduct women for human trafficking or ransom, they abduct them to take them as wives. In this country, there exists a tradition where, before the wedding, a man will ask his friends to kidnap the woman he has promised to marry and bring her home. This cultural aspect is quite interesting, but it is gradually becoming distorted. Many women are kidnapped and forced into marriage in a blatant manner, but the authorities often turn a blind eye, citing it as a tradition. Numerous reports indicate that Kazakh women are assaulted under the guise of this ritual, and even female tourists are at risk. Unfortunately, the security forces in this country often side with the men and overlook such behaviors. Number 9. No cross-legged sitting. There are plenty of comfortable sitting positions to choose from, but when in Kazakhstan, never opt for sitting cross-legged. It may sound absurd and illogical, but this sitting style is genuinely prohibited in this country. Locals feel angered if someone sits like that in front of them. Cross-legged sitting can be considered impolite or disrespectful, especially in formal situations or when meeting older people, individuals of higher status, or during traditional ceremonies. Moreover, if you cross your arms, it is a clear sign that you are disdainful of the conversation. To avoid being scolded or even attacked by locals, you must refrain from sitting in this manner. Observe how the locals sit and follow their lead. It's a matter of cultural sensitivity. Number 8. Prohibition of women killing animals. Once again, I must remind the ladies, if you happen to visit Kazakhstan, never harm any animals, as it is strictly prohibited for a woman to do so in this country. Killing animals may be considered a traditional and common practice in agricultural cultures in Kazakhstan. However, only men usually perform tasks such as slaughtering chickens, pigs, or horses. In fact, animal slaughter is often part of the process of farming and providing food for the family and community. In Kazakhstan's culture and tradition, the role of women in farming and caring for the family can be respected and highly valued. However, killing animals is often restricted or prohibited based on gender beliefs. They believe that if women kill animals, it will bring great resentment, the meat will not taste good, and it will be somewhat tainted. Therefore, almost 100% of the time, the act of slaughtering is considered the responsibility of men, with very few women engaging in this activity. Number 7. No shoes indoors. Another taboo I want to highlight before setting foot in Kazakhstan is to pay attention to the shoes you are wearing. If unfortunately you accidentally wear shoes and enter a local's house, quickly leave before encountering major trouble. In Kazakhstan, taking off your shoes before entering a house is seen as a sign of respect and reverence for the living space. This also reflects your cleanliness and respect for the homeowner. If you intentionally enter wearing shoes, it implies that you think the homeowner is unclean, their house is dirty, and you do not respect them. You know how making a Muslim think that you are disdainful and view them as dirty can lead to serious consequences. Once again, I want to emphasize the importance of being extremely careful in every action you take. Number 6. Prohibition of throwing bread in the trash. The destination for leftover food is, of course, the trash bin, but in Kazakhstan, you are not allowed to throw bread away in such a manner. In Kazakhstan, bread is a highly respected food item, eaten with deep gratitude and a sense of spiritual reverence. Parents instill in their descendants the lesson of never wasting this essential food item. Discarding a piece of bread in the trash is seen as an insult to their culture and a contemptuous act towards their food. So it's best not to engage in such actions and try to finish every bit of the bread. In Kazakhstan, bread comes in various forms and is consumed in large quantities. The oldest type of bread in Kazakhstan is borsak, a small leavened dough deep-fried in oil and served at every feast. Borsak is eaten with meat, soup, and more. On September 7, 2014, a culinary competition in Almaty between 7 mother-in-law and daughter-in-law teams resulted in 856 kilograms of borsak being cooked, setting a new Guinness World Record. Interestingly, almost a ton of bread was consumed within half a day. Number 5. Addiction to mare's milk. Kazakhstan has now become quite developed, and its people have acquired various modern means of transportation, such as motorcycles and cars. However, horses remain an indispensable part of the daily life of the Kazakh people, who were the first to domesticate horses. It is believed that the Kazakh people were the first to domesticate horses around 6,000 years ago. Today, in Kazakhstan, 1/3 of the population owns livestock, and horses continue to be a crucial type of livestock for Kazakh farmers. If you are a guest of a Kazakh family, you will likely be invited to dinner with dishes made from horse meat. To combat the harsh winter with temperatures dropping to 40°C, Kazakh people consume a significant amount of horse meat for energy. A family of 4 would buy an entire horse for about $2,000, and horse meat is a traditional and relatively expensive dish for Kazakhs. Additionally, you will be offered the most delicious mare's milk in the world. Most Kazakhs are raised on mare's milk, a type of milk they claim to be addicted to for its unique taste. A mare can produce 5 liters of milk per day. Keeping 3 to 4 horses at home provides enough milk for daily meals and the education of the children. The milk is churned about 1,000 times, left overnight, and then boiled. The final product is the delightful mare's milk. Mare's milk has components similar to mother's milk, making it suitable for newborns. I'm quite curious about the taste of mare's milk. If you've tried it, please share your thoughts in the comments. Number 4. Unusual houses. When visiting Kazakhstan, one incredibly interesting thing you shouldn't miss is spending a night inside their traditional houses. Yurts are the traditional dwellings of Kazakh nomads. It is a flexible wooden frame covered with various thicknesses of felt. A well-constructed yurt can cool in the summer, warm in the winter, and be disassembled or assembled in less than an hour. The interior of a yurt carries ceremonial significance, with the right side usually reserved for males and the left for females. While yurts are less used for their original purpose today, they remain a powerful symbol of the Kazakh spirit. The image of the shanyrak, the domed roof part of the yurt, is present in the national emblem as a symbol of the common home for all people living in Kazakhstan, representing hospitality, goodwill, and kinship towards everyone on the planet. Number 3. The largest landlocked country. With an area of approximately 2,725,047 square kilometers, Kazakhstan is the 9th largest country in the world and the largest landlocked country. Part of its territory borders the Caspian Sea, which often confuses people into thinking it has a coastline. In reality, the Caspian Sea is a large inland body of water surrounded by Russia, Iran, Turkmenistan, Kazakhstan, and Azerbaijan. The coastline of Kazakhstan along the Caspian Sea is about 1,100 kilometers long, but it usually lacks major seaports. Some small ports and fishing villages along this coastline play a crucial role in providing food and supporting small-scale trade. Moreover, the Caspian Sea is a significant resource with various fish species and activities related to oil and gas extraction. However, due to its lack of connection to other major seas, maritime transportation activities here are often less developed compared to other coastal areas worldwide. Number 2. 27,000 ancient sites. As a country with a long history and a diverse cultural heritage, Kazakhstan holds a strategic geographical position in the center of Asia. It is a place that preserves numerous ancient relics and important cultural heritage sites. With around 27,000 archaeological, historical, architectural, and other cultural heritage sites spanning across the country, Kazakhstan speaks volumes about its rich history. These sites include ancient cities, museums, archaeological zones, religious sites, and much more. Some notable sites in Kazakhstan include the ancient cities of Otrar and Turkestan, as well as various archaeological areas like the Red Lands in Altai or the remnants of Soran. These sites are not only symbols of Kazakhstan's history and culture, but also attractive destinations for tourists and researchers in archaeology from around the world. Number 1. Experts on horseback. I eagerly anticipate a showdown between American Wild West cowboys and Kazakh hunters on the steppe, a competition showcasing the best equestrians and marksmen. Kazakh people, both men and women, are skilled horse riders. The youth engage in wrestling and games where riders compete for sheep. Horseback riding events take place in grassy fields during festivals. Young men play the game of boys chasing girls. Girls ride horses to predetermined places, and young men can court the girls along the way. However, on the way back, girls chase the boys and are allowed to whip them as a form of revenge. These entertaining events often conclude with love and marriage. If you visit Kazakhstan, you can experience horseback riding, archery, and enjoy the thrilling performances of the Sarbaz expedition group. I believe you will have an incredible time here. By exploring these unique and peculiar aspects that exist only in Kazakhstan, we have witnessed the diversity and richness of this country's culture and heritage. Continue to explore and learn about the wonders of the world, and never stop yearning to discover new and surprising things on our journey. Thank you for joining us on this adventure. Until our next exploration,